Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at Lucario here, and I'm going to say this right off the bat. I was pretty impressed by the performance here. It does have to look out for quite a few things, those fighting type moves as well as fire as well. But on the flip side, it is going to be part steel and resisting quite a bit here. And doing the power-up punch is going to be vamping it up quite a bit here. As you're going to see throughout this whole video, I don't know what's going on here, but I'm not hitting excellence for the fighting type animation anymore. It's once in a while it happens, but it's just so weird. Anyways, these battles were going to be pretty late at night. I don't usually do that. So it was around 3 a.m. my time where I decided to do these. So I just may be not playing to the best of my ability here. So I am going to be uploading another video later, taking a look at Lucario yet again. Because you guys did say you wanted shorter videos. I know some of you do like the long 40-minute videos plus, but it looks like the majority of the people want them to be shorter, so that's what we're going to be doing here. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what we have. So when Lucario gets going with these power-up punches, I mean, this thing can just steamroll through teams here. So you have a fighting type move, and then you have a ghost type move. There's literally nothing that can run from Lucario. The things that you do have to worry about, obviously, are going to be fighting type moves, fire type moves. But on the other hand, with the moves that Lucario does personally have, I have Power Up Punch and Shadow Ball. There's nothing that can escape those, right? So let's go ahead and see. We have a Poliwrath. Now, this isn't great. Now, we also have the Alolan Muck, which is also not going to be too good going up against the Poliwrath here. So what we have to do in a lot of these situations is, you know, yeah, they can bait us with the Ice Punch, but we're going to more than likely have to shield 2 times and then just hope we have good matchups behind this here for this specific team. So they're switching into that Charizard, and we're going to be going in with that Swampert. Man, using this thing, I'm going to tell you, going up against it, you know that you're going to get spammed with that Hydro Cannon, but personally using it, because I haven't used it in some time, man, this thing is super OP. Like, wow. So they're going for the Dragon Claw. We're going to be able to get to this Hydro Cannon, and this is going to one-shot it. So down they go. We're playing a shieldless game at this point. Let's see if we can get to another Hydro Cannon just to do chip damage to that Poliwrath here. And we're able to. They're going to have a charge ready to go, so we're just going to go. You know, I should have went potentially Muck here to absorb that Dynamic Punch. But I just simply didn't know what they had in the back, and it is going to be another Muck. So our Lucario would have been great going up against that, because we will be resisting the Dark as well as the Poison. But I was expecting a potential Giratina in the back or something like that, so I just used the Lucario as the third shield here. So anyways, we're going to go for the Gunk Shot here, and check this out. That last Gunk Shot, I got a great. Now, see how this affected the whole outcome of the battle here. I can't believe I got a great on a poison type animation. So they're just surviving with a sliver of health. If I was able to get that excellent on that Gunk Shot, we would have been able to win that. I don't know what I'm doing over here. Maybe it was just a little late. I'm slacking on these animation bubbles, folks. Anyways, we are met with a Charizard in the beginning, so we do switch into our Muck here. And they're going to be going into Melmetal. This is not the best matchup. Power Up Punch is going to hurt, but then again, they're going to be lowering that defense after they do that. They're going to be hitting us with a Rock Slide here. We're going to be able to get to another Dark Pulse, which is going to be doing a lot of damage to that Melmetal. So we have a Charizard in the back there on their team. We need to think about that. Lucario cannot be matched up with that. We do have a Swampert to answer to that Charizard. So we're going to be able to barely survive and get off this Dark Pulse. This is good. So they're going to be going with the Charizard, and we're just going to go in with the Swampert there. It's really good that we actually won that lead there. They're going to be hitting us with a Blast Burn and retreating into Swampert. We're going to be going with our Lucario here. So they still have 2 shields, and so do we. We decide to shield up this Frenzy Plant. We will be resisting it, but Frenzy Plant pretty much just hurts everything, right? And Lucario isn't the tankiest thing around. So we are going to be going for that Power Up Punch. We got a shield out of them. That's good. We're going to be shielding up again here because the Swampert cannot see the Venusaur. I mean, it's just going to be a game over at that point. Unless I do go in with like an Earthquake and hit him. You know, perfect timing. So getting off another Power Up Punch at this point. What I decided to do was let the Lucario go down as if I had a choice. Go in here with the Swampert. There's no time to farm. So we're just going to basically have to hope we can get to another Hydro Cannon for this Charizard. Let's see, and we're able to get to another one. And this is going to be game over for us, and we take the win. Swampert Yeah, I know. I said I won't use Swampert, Giratina, or Registeel. I'm not going to use Registeel or Giratina, but Swampert, we got to have a little firepower over here, folks. All right, anyways, we're met with another Lucario. Very interesting here. All right, let's see how this works out. This actually is a pretty insane matchup. You're going to see what happens next after this. So they were able to get to that power-up punch first, and we have a double KO. So we have the Swampert. We're waiting for the clock to go down. And check it out, we go in with both shiny Swamperts. Are we going to have a complete mirror team here? So we're able to get that Hydro Cannon off. We're going to let this go through or shield. Okay, we shield this one up, good. And what we want to do is get this Hydro Cannon off and then catch it with our Muck, their Hydro Cannon. But unfortunately, we're a little too slow there because we're basically at a tie. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and switch. I should have potentially gained a little bit of energy. I think the reason why I switched immediately was so that they couldn't get to Earthquake, since we're playing a shieldless game at this point. And what they have in the back is a Giratina, and then they do give up that match there. So switching at that time was pretty good, although I think I could have won that anyways. So we're met with a Roserade. Very interesting. Our counters are not very effective, and we both make an immediate switch. I don't think either of us knew that we were switching. We kind of both just did it systematically. So they're going to be going with the Muck. Although I don't think that would make sense. They wouldn't switch a Muck into a Lucario, right? So they probably knew that I was switching. Anyways, they are using a Shiny. I do believe that's looking really nice over there. Hitting us with that Sludge Wave. We're going to be going for the Gunk Shot. So if we do potentially lose this matchup, that's perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, I kind of want to lose it so I can go in here and farm down with the Lucario and potentially have a bunch of energy for whatever they do bring in. Remember, we need to look out for fire types, as well as fighting types as well with the Lucario, of course. So we're going to go in here, farm down. We have a good amount of energy, and we still have 2 shields. So we're going to be going back in here with the Roserade. So we're going to go for Shadow Ball. We're not going to go for the bait at this point, and we get it through, which is big. So the Razor Leaf generating energy very slow, so they're not able to get off a charge. And what they have at the back is that Melmetal. And we're looking good, right? So here we go. So this is a great situation for us. And once we start getting that power-up punch rolling on the Lucario, the thing just starts going through teams. Especially if you're able to get a Shadow Ball through after you've done a couple of power-up punches. That thing is going to be so powerful. So Lucario can be a very good Pokemon to just roll over teams depending upon what they have in the back. So we're going to be switching into our Swampert to catch this Hydro Cannon. Probably not the best play, but I decided to just go ahead and go with it and make the best of it here. So going for that Hydro Cannon, they're deciding to let it go through. I think I may shield this up or let it go through myself. And we're surviving barely and able to get to a Hydro Cannon here. And they decide to use a shield. And what are we going to go in with Lucario and farm down? Perfect. We have a bunch of loaded energy plus 2 shields. So they're bringing in a Melmetal. I wonder what they have in the back. A Registeel? So this is going to be great. We're at the point where we're going to be able to do pretty much back-to-back power-up punches. And now the counters are just going to absolutely destroy it. Expecting a potential superpower here. It's actually going to be a Thunderbolt. And okay, so it's a Snorlax. All right, so yeah, this is game here. Watch how we're just going to be able to accumulate the damage with the counters. We have one more shield. We're obviously going to use it and just use Lucario to completely roll over the Snorlax here. Hitting a great, I don't, man, what? Why do I keep getting grades on the fighting animation? Anyways, we're met with a Cloyster. This is yet again another good situation resisting the ice moves. They're switching into Poliwrath here. So what we're going to do is, since we have a bunch of energy, we're just going to roll with it and catch the charge move with the Swampert here. Potentially should have saved that energy, but we got a shield out of them, so I mean that works out great. Expecting a dynamic punch. It's going to be an ice punch, but that's perfectly fine. We're going to be going for an earthquake. Big damage if we can get this through. They already used a shield, and they decide to use their second one, so this is great. We have the Muck and the Lucario, which do not really want to see the Poliwrath here. Are we able to get to another earthquake? Wow, we are. Swampert is just so OP, guys, and we're able to take out that Poliwrath. The Cloyster comes in and farms a little bit here. That's okay. We're going to be going in with the Lucario, and they have a Registeel in the back. Yeah, let's see how this plays out here. So we actually hit an excellent on the fighting animation. Good for us. Good for us. All right, so we're going to be shielding this up. I don't think we're going to necessarily be able to take out the Registeel here. They may be able to get to another Flash Cannon. Yeah, actually we could have. I got a little nervous there. We could have definitely taken that Registeel out, but we decided to catch the Flash Cannon with the Muck, seeing that the Lucario is still going to be able to run through the Cloyster here, and we're going to do big damage to that Cloyster with our Dark Pulse. And I guess I just did that switch just to be safe here, to keep that Lucario preserved. Going back in here with Power Punch, and this is going to be a game over here. Hitting a Gray, and then one counter is going to be able to take it out. Alright, moving on to the next. We're met with a Venusaur, so this is not good for us. We don't like this matchup. So we're going to be switching into Muck to catch the Frenzy Plant here. And this is great, but they're going to be able to counter us, but they're going to be bringing in a Blastoise, which isn't horrible for the Muck situation here. Just going to go ahead and go Dark Pulse since we have accumulated energy. Could have potentially went for the Gunk Shot, but they also could have shielded up that. And that's going to be a lot of energy wasted, hitting us with a Hydro Cannon here. And able to get to another Dark Pulse, which is great. They're going to be able to farm us just a little bit. They're using that shield there. We still have two ourselves. So I think the best thing to do is going to be going in with the Swampert to preserve the Lucario for later on. Just absorbing these Hydro Cannons. It is going to hurt Swampert being that part ground type. Going to be going for an Earthquake since they are not shieldless, but yeah, they're going to let that go through. Another reason why we did bring in that Swampert there is because they do have that Venusaur in the back. We do not want that to be matched up with it, so it was just a better option to go up against that Blastoise with the Swampert. So we're going to be shielding that Frenzy Plant. Let's see if we can get this through without a shield, and we do. We take the Venusaur out, and they have a Steelix. Oh, yeah, let's go. All right, so Lucario, can we do it? Of course, they're going to shield this up. The counters are going to start doing a ton of damage at this point to that Steel type. Expecting a not too hard-hitting move, but we're still going to preserve the Lucario at this point so we can just melt away that Steelix at this point, and we're able to take the win there with the Lucario in a bad lead. So it's not all doom and gloom if you have that, as well as a Charizard. So we're met with another Venusaur. Let's see what happens in this situation. We're going to try to catch that Frenzy Plant. They were really farming. I mean, sometimes you can get the indication of when they're about to use their charge. Their Pokemon kind of slows down on the attack animation, and that's a bit of an indication as to when I should switch. Also, just counting, but yeah, they farmed hard, so not looking great. So we're going to be shielding this up, potentially expecting an Earthquake. We do not want to waste the Dark Pulse energy at this point here. It's going to hurt the Swampert quite a bit, as we've seen. They're going to be using their last shield. So at this point, if we can get to another Dark Pulse, great, but we're not. That's okay. You did your job, bud, and you're going to go down now. We're not going to use that last shield. Going to be going in here with Swampert. Like we've seen in that last situation, we don't want the Swampert to be matched up with the Venusaur. This is not the best scenario here with energy on the Swampert on their end, but we have to make sure we line the Pokemon up correctly. So going in with the Lucario here, they are shieldless, so we're going to be going for that Shadow Ball, farming down. And unfortunately, they gained so much energy prior to this that they're able to get to another one here. But we want to preserve that to potentially get off a Shadow Ball here. But it's going to be a Muck, so we're going to be going for Power Punch and just doing as much possible damage that we can. We're able to get to another one. I could have potentially hit that Power Up Punch, but unfortunately not. So we have a loaded Swampert. Now, what I should have done here was farm a little bit more. I should have farmed just a couple more times. And then I would have been able to potentially hit back-to-back Hydro Cannons here. You're going to see what happens. So, yeah, unfortunately not. Should have farmed a little bit more on the Muck, but I was playing it a little bit too safe, and we take a loss there. Hey, it is what it is. You learn from your mistakes. And we're met with a Charizard. This is probably one of the worst situations for me. So we're going to be switching into the Muck. We don't want to go right into Swampert because they could potentially just go into a Grass type. So hopefully I was, banking on them potentially switching, but they decided to stay in here, hitting me with Blast Burn, and now switching into their own Muck. They did use a shield, so yeah, this is not looking the best. So we're going to look to go in here with Lucario because it's going to be great going up against the Muck. And then we do have the Swampert for the Charizard later on, and it's just going to be a mystery as to what they have in the back, and hopefully we'll be able to pull up the win with what we do have at the moment here, the Lucario and Swampert. Hitting us with that Dark Pulse, not very effective, but as you can see, Lucario is squishy, and it's still doing a good amount of damage. Hitting that excellent on the Power Up Punch, giving myself a pat on the back for that one. And I think I should shield this up for sure. And expecting that Charizard immediately. And they stay in. Very interesting here. Letting it go down. What do they have in the back? It's going to be that Venusaur. All right. All right. So what we're going to do is try to just do as much damage and potentially make them think we're going for an Earthquake. We're not going to shield up the Swampert because it's a lost cause going up against the Venusaur at this point. Going in with the Lucario, they are shieldless, and we have one shield left. Can we do this? I don't know. Let's see if we're going to be able to with the Shadow Ball. All right, very close, and we take it out, and we're going for the Power Punch. That Muck's in the back. It is very low health. This is going to take it out, and we take the win with Lucario. Wow, that was a very close one with that bad lead. All right, it's always nice taking the win when you have the horrible lead, as well as this one here, but like we discussed earlier, nothing can run from Lucario's charge moves if you do have Ghost and Fighting. I mean, the Ghost types will be resisting the Fighting, while the normal types will be resisting the Ghost, and everything in between is just going to be neutral damage between those two moves there. So we were trying to get a shield out of them, and we're switching into our hard counter. Probably not the best thing here. So they are going to be switching into Charizard. We do have two shields. We're going to be going for this Gunk Shot. Let's see if we can get it through. Massive damage. That was big there. So great. Good stuff. Knowing that they have the Giratina in the back, we're going to be shielding this up to preserve it a little bit. Don't think they're going to enter back in with Giratina, right? And they're going to be going in with Venusaur. So we're also going to be resisting all of the moves with our Muck here. So we're in a great position. And they're using their last shield. We have one more left. This Frenzy Plant is not going to take us out. We should be able to get to one more Dark Pulse here. We're actually using our last shield because of the Giratina in the back. All right, so a little bit... potentially should have not shielded that up, but let's see how this plays. Don't think I'm going to be able to survive this Frenzy Plant. No, we're not. Going in with Lucario here, knowing that I'm going to be able to hit Giratina with potentially Earthquake, and the Venusaur would have just completely walked right over my Swampert if I would have initially went in there. So going in with the Swampert, hitting that Hydro Cannon, and this is a lost cause here, but hey, check it out. Swampert's really good with Earthquake. Look how much damage this does. Personally, I was surprised. That's so crazy. Swampert is so OP. I mean, it is, but at the same time, it is extremely weak to grass, so it kind of like balances it out a little bit. But I wouldn't... It's still a little cheap. Yeah, it's still a little cheap. The quick move is so good with that energy gain with the Hydro Cannon combination. So we're met with a Poliwrath here. We've seen this before. Kind of just going to work it out and hope for the best. The counters plus Power Punch will be able to beat the Poliwrath in a 2-shield situation here. They're going for the hard-hitting move, Dynamic Punch, right away. And we're just going to keep going with the Power Punch. Get an excellent... Wow! And unfortunately not able to farm down here. Not taking the risk since we're already vamped up. And they did use no shields at this point. So we are shieldless, and we have a vamped up Lucario. And they're going in here with Giratina. A little bit of lag. Going for the Shadow Ball. Or not. Going for Power Punch. Getting a shield, great. And retreating into Muck. Interesting. I thought I would maybe go for the Shadow Ball. So they're going to be going in with their Steelix here. Registeel. And we're just going to do as much damage as we can with the Dark Pulses. They have one shield left, so we're really hoping that they're going to draw that soon here. And, I mean, the match isn't looking all bad. We can still pull this one up. They're hitting us with a Focus Blast. They have a shield left. We need to get that shield. Let's see if they use it right now. Use it. No, they do not. And they survive with just a sliver of health left. And they're going to be able to Flash Cannon us out of here. Now what we can do is go in here with Swampert and farm barely, I guess. They still have one shield, so going to be trying to go for Earthquake here. And then what I'm going to potentially try to do with the Lucario with a bit of energy on it is try to hit a Shadow Ball on the Giratina and take it out. They let the Earthquake go through, so at this point, the Lucario, what it can do is basically finish it off with Counter Power Punch. So we're going to be going for the Hydro Cannon. They have to shield, otherwise they're done. So we're going to get that shield finally. Switching into Lucario. Could have potentially just built up to Shadow Ball there, as you can see. But I was getting nervous as to maybe they had enough energy to take us out. That didn't take them out. Got a little nervous like, oh man, did I just lose this battle here? And we're able to finish them off with a counter after a couple of power-up punches. Alright trainers, so if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And like I said, I'll be bringing you some more Lucario battles later. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.